So Marco Huck retains his WBO Cruiserweight title with a 6-round TKO of Firat Arslan. This was obviously a rematch. In the first fight, Marco Huck won a very controversial decision. Many people, including myself, thought that Firat Arslan won the first fight by quite a wide margin. But in this fight, Marco Huck did not leave it to the judges. And it was clear to me from very early on in the fight that this was a different Marco Huck than the first fight. In the first fight, he seemed so lethargic. He was lacking in energy. He seemed like a fighter on the way out. He seemed so shop-worn and tired in there. But this time around, Huck had so much more energy. His punches seemed to have a hell of a lot more snap on them and a lot more steam on them. And he was landing a lot more cleanly than he was in the first fight. Right from the opening bell, it seemed like a different Marco Huck. And I wondered earlier in the fight if Huck was going all out because he knew he had to try and keep Firat Arslan off. But I was wondering if Huck was going to tire himself out. But nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, he was tiring Firat Arslan out, especially with the right hands to the body. I think that was the key to the fight. The straight right to the body for Marco Huck. In the first couple of rounds, it looked like a replica of the first fight, although Huck was throwing more punches than he did in the first fight. But it looked like a replica in terms of the pattern. It was Firat Arslan coming forward, landing good uppercuts and short shots on the inside. But Huck just had a lot more meat on his shots this time. There was a lot more devil in his work. And once he started landing that right hand to the body consistently, you could see the energy drain away from Firat Arslan. You could see Marco Huck was just chipping away at his energy resources with that shot. And he started landing good hooks and lefts and uppercuts around Arslan's guard. Arslan had a very tight guard, but this time around, Huck had more power in his shots, more energy. He was throwing more shots, so some of the shots were getting through. Whereas in the first fight, most of the shots were getting blocked and there was virtually nothing getting through. And come the 6th round, you could tell, it was clear that Arslan was slowing up a couple of rounds before that. And the body shots especially were getting to him. The little clips around the side of the head that were getting around his guard were getting to him. And in the 6th round, Marco Huck had a breakthrough moment. He managed to drop Firat Arslan. Arslan bravely got to his feet, tried to retaliate, but Marco Huck launched an all-out assault. Managed to knock Firat Arslan down again. Arslan got up again and Huck attacked him. And this time, I believe it was after the second knockdown. I don't think there was 3 knockdowns. Correct me if I'm wrong, for those of you who watched the fight. But I believe it was after the second knockdown. Huck had Arslan up against the ropes and he was in no position to continue. The referee definitely made a good decision. And Huck wins the fight and retains his WBO Cruiserweight title. I thought it was a very good performance from Huck against a difficult opponent. As you saw in the first fight, Arslan gave Huck more than he could handle. But this time around, Huck was rejuvenated. He had so much more energy. His shots were more powerful. He was picking his punches better. His work rate was better. He was just an all-round much better Marco Huck than we saw in the first fight with Firat Arslan. And he seems to have quite a bit left in the tank. I was worried after the first Arslan fight that he may be waning a little bit, that he may not be quite the same Marco Huck that he used to be. But on the evidence of this fight, I think he's still got quite a bit left. Quite a bit. So, yeah, drop your comments below. How did you feel about the fight? Who would you like to see Marco Huck fight next? Firat Arslan, I mean, he's, what is he, 42, 43 years old, something like that now. Not really sure how much longer he can go on in the sport, but he put up a gallant effort. So, yeah, drop your comments below. Let me know how you felt about the fight. Did you enjoy it? What do you want to see Marco Huck do now in his career? Who do you want to see him fight? He obviously has been saying recently that he'd like to go back up to heavyweight. Do you think that would be a good move? Or do you think he should stay back down at cruiserweight? Maybe take a rematch with Lebedev? If Lebedev gets through Guillermo Jones, let me know. Plenty of fights out there, plenty of possible matchups that he could be involved in. So drop your comments below. This is Huck, man. I'm out.